back to the channel. This week taking a break, as I said in the last episode, away from the Z650. It gives me time to do a bit more research, have a look into what parts I need and get them ordered and get them here. So I decided that it's time for a play, just to chill and just do something slightly different. So I'm going to pull the Z1000 out and have a look at what we've got, what I'm dealing with, and also maybe put a little bit of bodywork on it and just try and get some creative ideas of what I'm actually going to do with this bike. It's not going to be a back to original standard bike, so that may upset some people, but at the end of the day, it's the slogan I use is my bike built my way. So, and this will be my bike built exactly how I want it. The engine, we'll discuss that in a second. That's going to go out in size. But let me pull this out and we'll have a look, put some bodywork on it and have a look at the swing arm. Still undecided whether to stay with twin shocks or single sided, so we'll pull that out and have a look. I'm primarily trying to use as many parts as I've got stored in the garage and see what works and what fits and what it looks like. So let me pull this out, we'll have a look. Right, so I've just pulled it out, just loosely put the front end in position. Pulled out the tailpiece I had and this one of the side panels. At the moment they're just cable tied in position. The lugs aren't in the right place. Plus this frame's had an extra piece welded to it, don't know why. But actually wondering whether to sort of go with the old school styling of bodywork. And then maybe mix it up with a bit of modern at the back. Because I have been looking around for the squarer rectangular tank that came off the Z1000J GPZ1100B, whether that would be better or whether to go with stay with the rounded and into the tail. But as I said, I think I said in a previous episode on this one, this is a mismatch of different bikes, different parts. I think we covered it before, but the engine is actually a Z1000J2 1982 1000cc engine, 998cc, completely standard with the original carbs. The frame is off an 80-81 Z1000. Front end at the moment is FZR 1000X up RU forks, bottom yoke, ZX9R wheel, GSXR, my god, GSX 1400 swing arm and aftermarket shocks. I do have the other option, single-sided swing arm. That's off a Hawk, and there's the one up there which is off a VFR 750, but the only problem is the actual pivot width is 235. That one that I've already polished, I did ages ago, is actually 242, but the Hawk is 235. I'm still intrigued about the single-sided, so let me pull off these shocks and the swing arm and we'll have a look. Alright, and there we have it as a single-sided swing arm. Obviously there's no shock in there. I'm using the actual trolley jack to keep the height roughly about right. But that's the other option I've got. Old school bodywork, old school style tank, but then go for a modern rear end on the single side. I'll move it around in a second and have a look around the other side. But that is another option. Again, let me know your thoughts. I'm always interested. I know at the end of the day it's down to me. I've seen a similar poll to this before and it seems about a 50-50 split on twin shock and monoshock. But that is an option, and I can do a hub conversion from the VFR wheel and hub to fit into the Hawk swing arm. Right, so I've just loosely fitted the other side panel. And that's the VFR single-sided rear wheel. Again, just all loose mock-up really, just gives me ideas. That might actually work. Obviously this frame's going to have to be cut in places because there's been bits added to it. So you've had something added to their bracket. If I do decide to go with the single-sided, obviously I'll cut these off because I won't need them. But yeah, there will be some frame butchery, unfortunately. The angle grinder will be coming out. But depending on what I end up achieving or trying to achieve. I mean, obviously for now, I've just shoved the battery tray that I've had for a while. But obviously if I go monoshock, linkage is there. It might be alright. I might be able to bring it forward to a bar across here. I mean, obviously at the moment the height is just, it's not exact, it's just a rough guess to give me an idea. But let me know what you think. I always appreciate it. So I say there's a lot of work to do on this engine. It will be coming apart. Carbs are becoming apart. This whole section, well, for literally from here down to here, is coming off. This engine has run, not for some time, but it was a runner. But it's whether I actually go inside and do a full rebuild on it, I don't know. I may leave it as it is for now. See what I keep staring at it every so often, it will work off in my mind. But say I'll pull out the bore because that's going out as well. Don't know if I'm sticking with these, it's just gives me an idea, probably not. Forks, I don't know whether I'm going to stick with the FZR. I would like ZX9R, but they're hard to find, especially in good condition. or even a completely different front end that fits in. If it needs a stem change, then yeah, I'll have to find somebody that can do that for me. But let me know on recommendations for front ends. I've seen various different front ends being used. That's the actual Hawk hub and disc. So varying bits on the desk, bits I play with for polishing. Obviously the top yoke I was actually using it upside down because it actually did keep the front end together until I can actually find, well, if I decide to stay with the Z1000X up RU forks, then I'll need the RU top yoke, but undecided, we'll see. Well, I just thought I'd drag the Z out, have a little look, have a play, do a few mock-ups. I mean, obviously the other thing I'm wondering, if I go with this sort of design, do I bring the exhaust pipe up under the seat? Because I have seen one where they've put side exits about there, which was pretty interesting. Right, again, as I say, I'd just like to play around and have a look at things. This is an end cap, well, the end cap basically of oh crikey, I think CBR 600 RR. I've had the cap hanging around for ages. So I thought I'd try that. A couple of long pieces of screwed bar, just to sit it up underneath. It does actually fit in there quite well, but I could run an exhaust down. It's actually hidden away quite nicely, follows the angle down. As I say, swing out of the shock, I'm going to have to sort something out for that if I decide to stay with. I mean, the thing is, the underseat exhaust I can actually run even if I go back to twin shock. It's another idea, but don't know. So that's the pistons, just to revisit them. 75mm Wiseco pistons. I have shown you before the actual barrels. They are exactly the same as the Z1000J barrels. They're off a GPZ 1100B1, and it's been bored out to 1170 to take the 75mm Wiseco pistons. So it's going to be quite an increase, because say this is a 998cc standard, and we're going to take it out to 1170. Cylinder head on the B2 is exactly the same. Basically everything up is the same. Again, I'm unsure whether to go further in. I have seen some people have had welded cranks. I need to investigate that a bit more. Anybody knows about welded cranks, let me know, because this is a new thing for me, so I'm not very unsure about it, whether to stay with the standard crank or have it welded. I've already asked people about the carbs. Again, mixed, where some people say I can stick with the standard carbs and have bigger jets, or it's going out to the bigger Mikuni RSs, which are quite expensive. But unsure. Obviously, if I do stick with the single-sided swing arm, do I paint it or do I polish it? The engine will have to be cleaned and painted. I'll be going, well, it is actually, believe it or not, the engine is actually black, but this will need revisiting. There we go, there's a semi-clean bit. I say all this will need stripping down, looking at, check all the valves. As I said, this engine has run. This is literally all I have of it. Starter motor I don't have, so I need to get one of those. Doesn't have any wiring. Literally what I have is what you see. So literally it'll be made up as we go along. But it's going to be quite a fun build, this one. It's like this will be, I just want to try and go outside the box a bit and push myself to the limit on what I can actually do and what I can actually learn. I say, and doing a big bore is going to be fun. But no, I'm actually liking the old style bodywork with the new style swing arm. Again, I'll leave it as it is with this tucked underneath of whether I want to go normal exhaust up the side, underseat exhaust, or as I said, I have seen some people bring it out 2 ports on the side, but that's, don't know. But we pull this out every so often, have a look, have a play. It just takes me away from, I mean, I love doing the builds, but this is just like a fun project to learn and see if I can turn something from a bunch of bits into a working bike. Again, very similar with the Z650, it was a bunch of bits, can I turn it into a working bike? But this one I can really go to town on and just have fun. Right, so thanks for joining me on that one. I do like to just break away every so often and just have a play with another project. I say this has been sitting around for some time. There's no great rush on this. It will be coming up hopefully later on in the year, but I need to get some sort of idea of what direction I'm going with it, what I need to get for it. Obviously I grabbed the pistons and the cylinder when that came up, because yeah, that would really interest me to do that, so that's gonna happen. But again, bodywork, do I go to the squarer style, do I stick with the curved original style, sort of the old school as I know it, but then give it a twist with some modern? That's why I put in the single-sided. But again, you've got the best of both worlds. I can switch between the two. But say there's a lot to do, lot to get together on this before it even starts becoming a proper build. But it's just nice to break away and have a play every so often and give myself ideas, so I know roughly if I see something, yeah, that will work, I can go and get it. But any comments in the comments box below, as usual. Appreciate all your feedback. Links to other videos at the end of the video. Back on the Z next episode. Join me again next time. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.